We finally found a comparison to compare the BenchBud electric height adjustable workbench. Grizzly has one within their catalog. We brought it in. We're going to do an unboxing and assembly. Hi, Bill with RightAngle. We had some comments within our YouTube channel when we tested the Husky workbench from Home Depot against the BenchBud, which is a product that we manufacture. We had some comments saying, you know, that's not a great comparison, you know, it costs a lot less, it's not electric, but was the only thing we could find within that adjustable market that we could compare against. We recently found out that Grizzly has an electric height adjustable workbench. So we thought it would be a great opportunity to bring it in, unbox it, assemble it, test it, and see where the comparisons lie. Okay, I want to go over the specifications of the Grizzly workbench since that's really important. You are using this as a workbench, so you want to know what it's capable of. So I'm right on their website here, and travels 23 to 48 inches. Now that's going to be without a work surface. Lifting capacity is 265 pounds. So that means if your work surface weighs 100 pounds, you've got 165 pounds left to actually lift product up and down. And it is an expandable base, so you can go 43 inches wide up to 74 5/8. It comes with a digital display and a 4-button switch, so you can do programming. That's always nice. And from what I can see here and what it says on the box is it's made in China. We personally purchased this ourselves, and I paid under $500 for this. And you do have to pay shipping. There was a minimal charge. I think we paid $25. Let's get started unboxing the Grizzly workbench. So you have your cross support. So this mounts underneath your workbench work surface. It has the control box already mounted inside. Just by looking at it here, it is tested for UR, but it's not UL approved, which might be important to you. Side support frames that will attach to your work surface. You have 2 of them. I see they put rubber bumpers to isolate the noise. I'll tell you why they do that in a minute. Here are the feet. Now from what I've read, somehow a caster's attached to here. It looks like there's 4 of them to attach a caster to this foot. And then you do have an adjustable glide that you can see here. Here we have the columns. Again, this is electrically tested for the motors, again, but it's not UL. And what UL really means is they test all the components together. It's tested as a complete package, as a table. And that's when you can get your UL or Intertech approval. Got a power cable here. Looks like it's grounded. That's good. Here's your control switch, your hardware, and it looks like there's a cover here. I think that's for the bottom down here, but we'll find out more with the instructions, and we have our instructions right here. So now that we've unboxed it, we'll start with the assembly. All right, we've got the instructions here. They're all in steps. So we're just going to do step 1. They say we can put this together in 15 minutes. So I'm going to see if I can manage to hit that time. Basically, it looks like step 1 is just basically putting the ends on. That's here. And they're going to go with this will be the bottom side. That would go against the work surface, so these will set on top like this, and it says to use letter A for the screws. So here's letter A, so we're going to open these up. It comes with an Allen wrench, so we're going to use their tools. Now, we put a lot of height adjustable tables together, and the first thing that I can tell you is never tighten really anything up until you get all the screws in for that certain part, just in case the holes don't quite line up. Another thing I can mention while I'm doing this is with the short Allen wrench, it's really hard to get enough torque on these screws to help keep the table from wobbling. So I'm gonna do the best I can here. Okay, step 2 is going to be putting the columns in. So now we're going to flip this over, and they're not handed. I'm not seeing any lock washers, and I don't see any Loctite on the screws. So with a height adjustable table, if you don't have Loctite or lock washers, after you use it, and especially if you put it on casters, the screws, they tend to come loose after time, which makes the table extremely wobbly. I truly use a larger Allen wrench to put these in. These are very tiny. All right, step 3, it's putting the feet on the columns. And that's using letter C for the screws. Again, I don't have lock washers and there's not Loctite on these screws, so they will end up loosening over time, which then can cause some wobble and instability issues. Okay, the table's basically assembled. It's not attached to a work surface yet, and the cords aren't managed, but the assembly process is done, and I think we found within the 15 minutes to at least put the mechanical parts together. For us to put this on a top, we have a 30 by 60, 1.5 inch thick rubber wood top. Looks basically like butcher block. Now we want to pull it apart. In the instructions here under step 4, it says to make sure these are loose, so it'll slide. So we'll bring it out about 1 inch in from the edge. Take a tape measure and square it up. Let's see, 3.5 on this side, and we've got 3.5 on this side here. Put on the table correctly, but it looks like the product itself isn't super square, so we're looking at about about 7/8 of an inch to a little over 1 inch here, and about over 1 inch here, and it's still under. So either the work surface isn't square or the base isn't square. Not sure which one. Not real important for this right now. It is a workbench. So we're just gonna take the screws that they supplied. We're gonna screw it down to the top here and then go from there. The table comes with these little rubber bumpers. In this table, after I pretty much examined it, we're in the height adjustable table manufacturing business. We test a lot of different people's products. This is basically a standing desk. So it's a workbench. I can't see anything that they changed myself where it would make it qualify as a workbench. The motors are the same as a standing desk. The brackets, the feet, the switch, absolutely everything's the same. The rubber bumpers are what they add to isolate noise on a standing desk. I don't think it's super important on a workbench, because on a workbench it's gonna create a little flexibility, which can create a little more wobble. So if I was building this for myself, I'd remove the rubber bumpers. But we're doing this kind of the way they say, so we're gonna leave them in for right now. And we'll screw it down to the work surface here. Now they do supply screws, Phillips screws, letter E. Normally we like to use like a square drive screw just because it's easier to drive them into a top, especially if you don't have pre-drilled holes, but I think we'll be able to manage. We measured corner to corner on the base itself, and it's definitely the base that's not square. And we also noticed on the feet that there's a curve to it, so it's not straight. And we'll show you an image of that also. Okay, let's screw it down to the work surface here. All right, since we have the rubber bumpers, they don't want you to screw these in super tight because you'll flatten out their noise dampeners, which again, I had to remove. Now, these screws look like they're about 5/8 of an inch long. Let's say we're giving up close to 1/4 of an inch with the rubber bumpers and everything, so there's not a whole lot of screw going into the top. Okay, we got step 4 done. Step 5 is going to be doing the control box, or excuse me, the control switch. You can tighten these back up. So it looks like there's enough cable on a 30 or a 30 by 60 top. We can mount this anywhere we'd like. They don't tell you which screws to use for the switch, but I do see some smaller screws here. I try to mount the switch back a little bit so you don't break it by bumping into it with anything. If you're making your own top, you could recess this portion of it out so you can make sure that that doesn't happen. All right, and then part of step 5 is putting all the cords in. Step 6, they actually have me tightening the screws here that are already finished. All right, the last thing we have to do for the electrical component is power. So we'll plug that in. Make sure it's plugged in all the way. And then they have this cover, which is, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of unique. It doesn't have screw holes in it. So it actually uses the edge of the screws to hold it in. And letter B and D. So we'll put these in here. Tables together, we can plug it in, see if it goes up and down. Okay, it doesn't make any beeps or anything like that, but the hand control is lit up. Doesn't look like there's a reset. It is very quiet. We hope you found this video to be helpful. Please click the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.